Hello and welcome to the May edition of Coffee with the Pastors. My name is Pastor Daniel Hanson. I'm joined with Pastor Dan Dahl and Pastor Dan Gerrietts for a conversation about Trinity's life and mission. We invite you to join us with one of your favorite beverages, whatever that is, as we have some time of conversation this Saturday morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Now, the burning question of the day is, do you have your spot staked out for the parade next weekend? Because, right, I came to Mason City last year and I wondered, are there invisible people here in Mason City? Because these chairs just appeared on State Street
Yeah.
and were there for days sometimes. And the parade spot's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure there are already spots marked along the parade route for Band Festival. There's no doubt about it. Probably for days now. They've been down. That's a real thing. That's a very that makes it sound like you've lived here a long time, Pastor Daniel.
Yeah.
A long time to say that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
go.
That's yeah.
Well, that's exciting. So the parade is Band Festival in Mason City is next weekend, and Trinity has some role in being a part of that.
Mhm. Yeah, all through the years, from the get-go, I believe, since they had the band festival, and since Trinity had its spot here, ideal center of the universe for the band festival, anyway. And and growing up, we always had our spots near Trinity, and then eventually we plugged in, or I did anyway, with ice cream socials with the scout troop. Stood right in the corner, and the money would go to helping others, and then helping the scout troop and bringing back to Trinity. It was Trinity's troop, and so it was fun just to see everybody go by and have ice cream and wave and have a great time. But then we also had Vacation Bible School. One year was during the band festival and proceedings. And of course, we took a break for the parade itself. But one day, in those days, we had the Sunday school edition, which was just inaugurated. And then we'd also use Lincoln Elementary School, which is across the street, which is now a parking lot. And we use it for the playground and for the gym and different crafts and so on. But we noticed something. There was a commotion in front of a TV station, KGLO, in those days. And there was an interview being taken place, and it was none other than Opie Taylor, Ronnie Howard, from the Andy Griffith Show. And so we all, our Vacation Bible School teacher let us all climb the fence and yell out, Opie, hey, Opie. We were waving and got on TV. But it was exciting because the Music Man, this was in June of 1962. Our Vacation Bible School was June 11th to the 22nd with a theme of We Believe, focused on Apostles' Creed. And then the 19th of June was when the world premiere of the Music Man took place. So Meredith Willson was in town, and Robert Preston, and Shirley Jones, and of course, Opie Taylor, Ron Howard. And it was an exciting day. We had 76 trombones in the band, and bands from all over the country. People were hosting band members in their homes. Many Trinity people filled their homes up with band members. It was really an exciting day, as every year is with the band festival. But that really is a highlight that people still talk about, especially with Meredith Willson being someone who grew up in Mason City and focused Music Man on River City. So it was an exciting day. So Vacation Bible School really became a prime spot to see lots of stuff. And we were so excited about coming to Vacation Bible School. It was always fun. Continues to be here at Trinity. We learned a lot and got to know, speak with our teacher, an adult, in a very informal way with others. And we just kind of grew up together with this summer Sunday school, Vacation Bible School. And it was always fun. And we'd have always a time at the very end to have a program and sing songs and do a little drama. And that goes on even today.
We'll have to work on a celebrity cameo that, although Opie Taylor would be, that's quite who is we get Bluey to come, or who would be the equivalent of
Yeah, Sheldon.
we'll have to work on that one. That's
That's
not
right.
currently but that's exciting
Uh-huh.
um to experience that. And this year Trinity continues to be involved in BandFest.
Yeah, definitely. We we have often been kind of the center of the staging ground for the parade. And so the parking lot is used for all of the people that are prepping. The streets around the church are filled with lines of floats getting lined up by our local chamber. And the parade really starts on Pennsylvania right in front of our courtyard. That's really the official beginning. But the building itself, for many, many years, I don't even know how long back, has been a place that has been instrumental to the start of the parade. The trombone fanfare organizes within the building. The Altar Guild, Trinity's Altar Guild, for years now has hosted the lunch for the band kings and queens. The band festival, of course, each visiting band, including Mason City's own bands, they all elect a band king and queen. And then they ride as royalty in front of each of the bands as they march. Well, all of those kings and queens come first to the church, and they have a lunch together and are kind of celebrated there, which has been a really cool tradition. And I don't know how it started, but the Altar Guild has always hosted that here. I think maybe it started as a fundraiser or something for them, but they've always done a phenomenal job of hosting those young people. And it's always fun if you are around the building that morning to see these teenagers from across North Iowa and beyond just hanging out and really being served beautifully by Trinity's Altar Guild team. So, and even the judges for the parade, I know sometimes have been staged here too. I don't know if they still are, but at one time I think they even were seated on the big steps that look out on Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's still the place where they sit, but I know it was at one time at least. So yeah, we're definitely in the heart of things here. And the chamber has been kind enough to also list Trinity's outdoor service on the Sunday of Band Festival as a part of the schedule, that if people are looking for a worship service on Band Festival weekend, that is typically our first outdoor service of the year, the 9 a.m. on Sunday. And it'll be that way this year. It'll be our first outdoor service. We'll be flipping our schedule. We move outdoor contemporary at 9 o'clock, and then the indoor service, that Band Festival Memorial Day weekend, becomes the 10:30 service. And that's the one we stream and put on the radio. So yeah, big weekend, lots of cool tradition. You marched in the parade, did you not, Pastor Daniel?
I did 1 year, which, historically I always think about, like, when's the first time that I was at someplace. So I think that would be the first time I was ever at Trinity, though I don't remember that as part of it, because the bands would have marched by the church. So that would have been the first time I was ever at Trinity, would have been as a sophomore in high school or whatever. But yeah, Osage had a tradition of, they would do it every 3 years. And so we would, I remember being really tired at the end of the parade, and we had to practice all the extra fun moves. But what I specifically remember is there were different people along the way that cheered at the different marching moves that we did. And I thought, this is, normally you hear the cheers in the football stadium or whatever, and it was like, great pass, but somebody yelled "Starburst" when we did a starburst and flipped all the horns out, and I was like, whoa, they actually know what we're doing. So that's my one clear memory from the parade art, except being really tired at the end. So it was a good thing they judged us the first few because at the end I think we were running out of gas.
And what did you play? What did you play in marching band?
I played mellophone, so I played French horn, and so instead of marching with that, we had a marching horn, and so
Nice.
and I enjoyed that. I liked marching band a lot. So yeah.
I've driven cars in the parade a couple of times because they've looked for people, which I really love that experience, because I never got to march in the parade like you did, but to see the crowd along the parade, especially in a year when the weather is good and the turnout is big, it's pretty cool to see the number of people, particularly in those the first half of the parade generally is a little bit bigger than the second half, but even later on, there's just so many people. There are so many people along that first few blocks, and then you turn left on State Street and go all the way up to to the schools, and it is a jaunt, and there's a lot of people along the way. It's a really neat tradition. And I think Trinity's witness in that, right? Like we talk a lot about the church's public witness. I think there is a witness in just being engaged in those kind of civic activities, right? There's nothing overtly religious about Band Festival, of course. It's a celebration of music and Mason City's heritage around Meredith Willson and all of that. But I think as a church, just to be engaged and to say, we're here to help the community come together and to celebrate and to be community and to welcome visitors from beyond. I think there's a really cool witness. And I always feel deeply honored that we get to be at the center of that as a congregation in some ways. It's just super cool. And I think really core to our mission as a church too.
Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Get to be that servant church.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So we talked about Bible school too, right? Like you were talking, Dan, about your memories of Bible school. And so that's coming up for us too, right here in a little bit. And
yes, I know exactly the date Bible school starts because it's on my birthday. So it's June 12th. It starts. So June 12th through 15th. And it was so fun to see Bible school happen last year with Riverside coming and leading the day camp. And I was Riverside counselor, so it was fun to see. I remember doing day camp, but it was fun to see what that looked like here at Trinity. We just had an awesome group of counselors last year, and I think that's one of the awesome things about being able to partner with a place like Riverside is you get these young adults who are on fire in their faith, and they get to be role models to the kids for the week. And so I'm excited for them to come. We still have lots of spots open, so if people want to sign up, they can go to the church website. Bible schools during the morning and into the mid-afternoon. And but yeah, we have lots of spots open, and looking.
Don't have to be a member, right?
Yeah, no, don't have to be a member. In fact, the more friends, the better. I think the more the merrier. I think about Bible school as one of the greatest on-ramps for the church. Like if you're ever wondering, how do I want to invite my friend or something, or want to include another family, but it might be weird to be like, do you want to go to church with me? Hey, invite them to Bible school. And that's a really, really easy thing to say. This is something fun. And it helps, I think, people feel comfortable coming in the door. And the way that Bible school works is we're all over the church, right? Which is what I love, is that kids get to become familiar with the space, right? That this gets to be a safe space. We worship in the sanctuary. We play games outside. We have activities in other places. I just love Bible school. So I'm excited that it's happening. And any other details we should let people know about that? We have a program on Thursday. If anybody from the congregation wants to come, I don't remember the time offhand. We'll have that published ahead of time, but we'll have a program where we go over what we learned for the week and share some music. And then our youth and family will be serving ice cream sundaes after that for a time of fellowship on the Thursday. So that would be the 15th. And the other plug, I guess I put in now that I think about it, we will have our Riverside counselors will be hanging out with middle school. So middle school Bible school is through 6th grade, but we will have a night where our Riverside counselors have so kindly given their evening to hang out with our middle school students. The Detmers are so kind to be hosting a fire and some activities at their place. So middle school families, stay tuned about that. That's another great opportunity to get to hang out with the counselors and have some faith forming time on Bible school week. So
and that, it's a reminder too, like we lifted up these last couple of Sundays, that it's not too late to sign up for camp too at Riverside. I saw, actually announced, because it was printed in the bulletin, there are over 40 kids that are going right now through Trinity and through Trinity's scholarship program, and that's fantastic. That's a really strong number for us, but there's room for more, right? For elementary, junior high school kids, again, members, non-members, friends, and we help them go, right? We provide some money for that tuition to go to Riverside. Phenomenal experience. We've known for a long time in the Lutheran Church, probably as it is in other traditions, that camp is a sacred space where God moves in special ways. I know we've talked about in the past on Coffee with the Pastors about the role of outdoor ministry with
Right.
people who have been called to professional ministry, people that are lay leaders in the church, the number of people that have been really impacted by the Holy Spirit through outdoor ministries. So can't underestimate what a week or even a half week, if that's the right age, can mean for kids and their faith journey.
Yeah.
I think Marty said last year we had 32 total go to camp. So it's so exciting to be already 10 above that. And here we are only in May. There's always a few more that sign up as the summer wraps up. And yeah, I would argue it's the best way you can spend your week.
Yeah.
So exciting. So there's information on our church website if you are interested in signing up or have a grandkid or a child or a friend. Go to the Trinity webpage and there's more information on how to sign up for summer camp. Well, I don't get to go to summer camp this summer, which is a huge disappointment. But there are some fun things going on this summer. So maybe we could pivot a little bit and talk about how summertime here at Trinity is both the time where there are programs going on, but maybe it's a time where things are a little slower in our program season, and how it is that we take summer to be both a time of rest and renewal as well as faith formation as well. So how do we think about that as a program staff?
Well,
Danny,
I like. Go ahead.
No.
Well, I do like the idea that summertime is a good time to refresh yourself, one's faith and one's busy schedule, but at the same time, there are opportunities to connect with the Lord here at Trinity. But it's a time really to just venture out around Mason City and walk with the Lord at East Park or some of the wonderful parks around here. Spend time with people talking about the Lord, in a more informal way. Don't feel pressured about things to show up at 5 o'clock to do something. But it's just a wonderful opportunity to enjoy the sun, be outside when it's not 40 below, and the wind's blowing 90 miles an hour. It's just an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with the Lord, and with other people. And it has to be intentional. We have programs and so on, but you can find a way to go out with somebody or even go out yourself to spend time in prayer. Maybe read the Bible a little bit and go out in prayer and walk with the Lord. Summer is a great time for that. And of course, camp's a very intentional time where you get out for sure. The Riverside Bible Camp and Vacation Bible School out and about. But summer's a wonderful time in Iowa. Yeah.
Those mosquitoes start coming out, right?
True.
Then you're swatting with the Lord, right?
Yeah, I haven't had a mosquito bite yet, so life is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard any buzzing.
May is beautiful when the weather gets warm, and I, for that reason, like it's ahead of the mosquitoes, but the weather's, yeah. No, that's beautiful. As I think about my summer, I think, obviously with sabbatical coming up, it'll be a time of rest for me, or at least a change of pace. I'll be certainly doing things and staying busy, but it'll be different than what a typical summer would be. And I do think about that in terms of the life of the congregation. We do take a break from some things in the summertime. We stop having Sunday school for a few months, and Wednesday Night Alive wraps up, and but some of the music ensemble groups take a break, and I think there's something deeply spiritual and scriptural about that, right? That we know that Sabbath is a gift from God and something that is good for human beings, that we have times of busyness and activity, and that we have times of inactivity and rest and reflection, or doing something different than we were doing before. This is good and healthy for us. And so I think about that in the summertime. It's a great time for kids that have been in school to get a break and do something different. And for families maybe to have time to get away on vacations and those sort of things. Those are important summertime activities and good for the soul as well. So I look forward to some of those times, and traveling some places and spending time on the water. That's always a great summer activity, and is kind of a spiritual activity too. Being on the water, there's something spiritual about water, connects us with God and God's creation. So yeah, so I've talked some in the past about what I'm doing on sabbatical, and folks can certainly read about that and in other places. But I look forward to travel, time with family, being on the water.
There's certainly something, when, especially as families are continually scheduled each moment, to have just a little reprieve. I know summer gets busy with T-ball and, there are still lots of things going on, but just even to have that gasp of air, I think makes a big difference, right? It feels different, and whether that's a chance to get away, or just a chance to slow down a little bit. We can't go 100 miles an hour all the time, or we come to a complete stop. We get slow way down. And
when there are times that like routine is helpful too, right? Like doing the same thing is kind of comforting. But then there's times that having a break from that is also life-giving. Like even with our worship schedule, I think at Trinity, it's gone on for years, of moving the 9 o'clock service outdoor and flipping the musical style on Sunday mornings from Memorial Day through Labor Day weekend is really always refreshing to me. It always feels really good, both to switch into that and at the end of the summer to switch out of it and go back. I like that. There's a change in rhythm that's really nice. And yeah, that relates to families probably too, and individuals.
So it's a great time to take it a little bit slower, if at all possible, to try something new. Spend some time and resting and Sabbath. Are there specific plans you want to share with anybody? I know I have some big baseball plans this summer. I already got to do my first one of the year, where my beloved pilgrimage to St. Louis happened this past week with Grandpa and Dad, which was, I'm feeling great this week. It's not just that they won, but it was just nice to be down there and to be away. And there is something just renewing about. We were tired the whole time because we were going, but just to come back and feel renewed even from doing that. So, but I have a lot of pandemic baseball to catch up on. I missed all those. Couple years I didn't get to go to a baseball game, so I'm looking forward to the Twins. Even watching the Twins, I enjoy. I maybe shouldn't admit this, but I actually enjoy going to Twins games a little bit more sometimes than Cardinal games, because the emotional toll, if the game goes poorly, is not there, and so I can just enjoy baseball for being baseball when I go to the Twins. But yeah, anything fun that you're doing that you want to share that's a renewing?
We for Denise and I had planned to go to Brazil, but COVID took over our lives for quite a while, knocked us out. So we rescheduled that for the end of the summer. And this particular trip is going to take us to where I began my ministry 40 years ago in southern Brazil. I was taking care of 6 congregations, and there are still people there that we have connected with throughout the years, and Denise has talked with, and so we're going to stay at some of those places, and I'm going to revisit all the communities that we minister to. And so we really look forward to that opportunity. I'm going to catch up with some of those, that we knew as youngsters, baptized or whatever, or now have families and so on. But yeah, it was just starting out in the early 80s, and it was exciting. We'll see if any of the roads are paved since then. Have to check that out. So we look forward to that part. Yeah.
Very cool.
Lots of comings and goings among the 3 of us this summer, right? I think as we get our different trips in and different times, but and that's something we can talk more about next month, but the opportunity to bring in some other voices for preaching this summer. In the midst of that, that'll be a change for the congregation to hear from some different folks. And I think it'll be a really good summer. We just this past week, right, did some calendar planning and some looking ahead through the summer into the fall. And even though some things are ending, there's some great one-time kind of opportunities to be church together, to learn and grow and have fun and fellowship that are being put on the calendar for the summer. So I really encourage folks to keep an eye on their communications, even as we head into June and July and August, because there's some really cool stuff being planned by staff and committees for people of all ages and all different kinds of activity levels. That yeah, it's going to be a great summer.
It will be. That's for sure.
Well, remember to bring if you're coming to outdoor worship next weekend, remember to bring your chair. We'll be excited to worship in God's creation. And what a good reminder of this gift of summer that is before us, a chance to be renewed and a chance to rest a little bit as we enjoy this season. So anything else for the good of the cause today, or?
No.
Very good. Well, we pray that your start to the summer is awesome, and look forward to visiting with you next month on Coffee with the Pastors. Until then, God bless.
God bless.